give it to you. Otherwise, if you don't want the mic, please speak up so we can hear you. I'll roam the room and try to get to you. And we'll start with you. Just kidding. So, am I in the club? Are you going to adopt me?
I bought his supper.
Oh, I would love it if you bought my supper. I love that you call it supper, too. My kids call it supper. I unfortunately call it dinner, but I wish we called it supper. Because you got to sing for your supper.
I'm the science fiction fan who doesn't like this book. I feel kind of lonely in that respect, but I think I might be the only person who wrote too. I just feel like Ender's a little too perfect for me. I feel like there wasn't really that
related the three siblings in this book to the three siblings in the Royal Tenenbaums, in that they were child genius. I don't know what they're like when they're in their late 20s, early 30s, and they're totally fucked up because their parents used them. But I mean, like, Royal used Chaz to, like, buy that summer home for him. Like, he negotiated. Like, you know, Royal didn't do it. Like, Chaz did it when he was, like, 7 or whatever. And so, like, I totally bought, like, if you have these child geniuses, like, even if it's just your family that's doing it, like, you know, they're going to get you that summer home or they're going to kill that other race. Like, I mean, it's the same thing. You know, like, you're going to find... Thank you, Patrick. I'm so glad you're drunk. But I mean, me too. It took me like, I don't know, like 50 pages to like buy into the fact that a 6-year-old up to 12-year-old could do these things and not really worry about it, because it's like you just want to do like the best that you can do when you're that age. You don't have to worry about being adult and, you know, like being responsible for what it is that you're thinking about. You're just like, this is a challenge. I'm smart enough to figure it out, and I'm going to do it. It doesn't matter like what the consequences are of that. Like I'm going to solve. You know, I'm going to play Tetris. That's what I'm going to do.
I thought you were going to find a way to connect this to Salinger when you started talking.
Well, yeah, the Glass family. Yeah. They're like the Glass family as well. Okay. Yeah.
The other thing that I was going to say is what Christian just said. That I don't know everybody in this room, but I'm going to assume that nobody was a child genius. And so, all right, Herman Brothers, put your hands down. But I mean, for us to say, oh, that's totally that's totally not gonna happen. Like, what 6-year-old is like that? Like, we were probably normal 6-year-olds. You know, we played with Barbies and ate Play-Doh, and you know what I mean? Like, used special scissors because we couldn't trust ourselves not to cut. Like, that's how we were. So we can't really understand what an actual child genius is, and I think he made it very clear in the book that this family, it was all child geniuses. Like, that's the story.
Yeah, so it's just another example of, like, we're comparing our almost 6-year-old and saying he's not up to speed, and I was reading my own failures into this, and he's not as much of a tool as you want him to be.
That other kids maybe don't. And so in this way, society has formed them, even though they are controlling society on the net and in a very large way, but they're still kind of being controlled. So, but at any given time, everybody's controlling everybody else, and it freaks me out.
Right now? Who's controlling you right now?
This microphone.
Really?
All these eyes on me, yeah, I'm totally being controlled.
So the crowd is controlling you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
You're our tool?
well, I'm in control of you two because you all have to listen to me. But I'm holding a tool.
We had a hand here.
I'm Doug. So I think Ender's Game wasn't the battle room, but it was the video game that he played, which with the giant and the giant's drink, which is sort of it's the Ender's Game Kobayashi Maru. He gets to the point of the unknown. So he gets to the point in the game that's unwinnable, which is supposed to be where they test to see how many times it takes you before you give up, and he creates his own solution. And that's where they know that he is sort of the chosen one, and that he's the captain.
An interesting thing also about using children is that essentially they are without sex drive. So they are driven by other things than grown-ups would be driven by. And like what was Gaff's real intentions towards Ender. I don't know. I mean, I'm not intimating. I'm not intimating pedophilia. I'm really not. I'm just saying that when you have grown-ups and children, but it's interesting. I just think it's interesting that there are two women in the book, Valentine and Petra. Is that her name? Yeah, Petra. And all these crotch shots. And you really have to think about that, like dudes kicking each other in the crotch. You can't kick a girl in the crotch. I mean, you can, but it really wouldn't hurt me all that much. I'd just retaliate to her crotch immediately.
Well, girls, have you been kicked in the crotch?
It hurts. I haven't. It doesn't hurt that much.
It doesn't hurt.
Come on now.
Is anyone willing to take it? Is any woman willing to take a kick in the crotch?
No, if I'm gonna get punched in the crotch, I'm done with this tour. But just, you know, ladies, men.
Okay.
Not as painful.
No?
Not as
Getting
painful.
punched in the ovary from inside.
That's okay. I'm done.
I gotta tell you. No, I'm sure it hurts to get punched in a boob, but it doesn't hurt as much as getting kicked in the
No, it really doesn't.
No, it can't.
I saw a video at my school bar and it hurts.
Okay, so, yeah, but have you been punched in the boob?
Yeah, that hurts too.
Have you ever thrown up from falling in your bicycle bar?
Where are these things happening? Oh my god.
Thanks for the beer. That's your cue. Boob punch. Boob puncher. That'd be a great 80s movie to watch. Boob puncher. Boob puncher.
I believe it's 12. And the adults have to basically be almost like the Charlie Brown wah 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 characters. They have to they're not primary to what happens, and that the
Ender's Game.
Yeah, I was just curious if anybody else was bothered so much by the scene when Ender was winning all these games, and then he wakes up one morning and he finds this old guy sitting in his room. Right? And he's not talking. And I'm thinking, great, this guy is going to show us. This guy is going to show Ender how to communicate with the buggers, because they don't communicate normally. But they don't go that way. You know, he goes, they have this physical fight, and the old guy beats him, and then he's walking out of the room and says, okay, now that we got the physical part behind us, now I can start teaching you. And then Ender attacks him and and really hurts him just when he's walking out of the room, after the guy said, oh, this physical part is over.
Because Ender's
That bothered me.
preemptive strike, that's why he
Yeah.
was chosen over Valentine and Peter. Because
Right.
the bully that originally bullied him, he put down forever and they could never do anything else. And that's why he's like the ultimate warrior.
Well, and because he woke up, there's an old guy, and all he heard was, and then the guy kicked his ass, and then he heard, fuck you.